So it took suffering for you to come to this.
Yes.
Do you think that a person have to suffer in order to overcome?
Absolutely not.
They don't have to suffer.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
For me, because I'm stubborn and I'm
Right.
selfish, that's
Yeah.
why. I mean, luckily I don't have cancer or something. I mean, then, because I was afraid I might have had cancer and they had to check to see if I did. So
What do you have?
it's called Graves' disease,
Oh.
is what it's called. And so I'm taking medication for it. And I'm also seeing a holistic doctor to try to get eventually off the medication.
Oh, okay. That was an excellent call you made this week to Dr. Singh
Yeah, he's
on my
great.
radio show.
Yeah, I don't have a Dr. Singh there, but I have somebody who has his background, and so,
Yeah.
not his spirit, but at least his background.
He has the right spirit. He is the best doctor on earth, I believe.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Holistic doctor.
Now, Jesse, I wanted to ask you,
By the way, he's going to be guest hosting for me Monday and Tuesday of this week.
I will be listening.
I have to go to a funeral.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my oldest son's mother expired, so they're having the funeral on Tuesday. I'm going to New York tomorrow morning.
I'm sorry about that, Jesse.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was shocked when he called me and told me that.
That is shocking.
Because I grew up with her, and I never thought one day she would die before me. You know, I just never thought of her dying anyway. But
What did she die of?
she had. They told me that she had an asthma attack, and during the attack, I guess she had a heart attack while that was going on. So,
Yep, it can happen.
but she was also stressed out.
That can happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and you leave behind people and unresolved things, and
But I'm gonna live forever.
I hope so.
I'm never gonna die.
Jesse, one more
Isn't that
thing.
amazing?
One more thing, and then I'll stop talking.
It's funny how people don't believe me. Look how many people have died and I'm still here. I have friends that I grew up with, and they're my age, and they're dead already.
Yeah.
I'm still kicking.
You got to stop eating hot sauce, though.
I know, I stopped the other day.
Good.
It's funny, the doctor told me, well, because I have this allergy thing going on, he said, well, you got to stop eating hot sauce, you got to stop eating honey, you got to stop eating anything with gluten in it, right?
That's what I did.
Yeah, and so I'm at the gym, I did this workout, and on my way out, I stopped. They have a cafeteria there, so I stopped and got some food, went over to this thing to put stuff on it, and I was about to dump the hot sauce on it. And all of a sudden it said, I remember him telling me, you can't eat hot sauce, right? And so I just said, oh, I'll do it next time. And I dumped it on there anyway. So I did remember before I did it, but I went on and did it anyway, since my hand was already up. And but yeah, I'm gonna get away from it. Last night I had some pinto beans. Normally I put hot sauce in it, and I didn't do it.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard. I had to give up a boatload of stuff.
Because of it.
I had to get a lot of things externally and internally. And
Are you
it's
still
not
a
easy.
wino?
No. I wanted to have I am inside. You know, like the other night I went out to dinner with my daughter.
Yeah.
And usually I use those dinners as an excuse to get a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And I thought I almost ordered a glass of wine, and instead of I ordered decaf coffee.
Oh man.
You know, and I
That's
thought
horrible.
It is horrible. It is.
Jesus drank wine.
He did, but he didn't let it consume him.
Right. And so are you just gonna stay away from it because it controls you?
For now,
Yeah,
for
that's
now
wise.
it's best.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know how to do it. Now, Jesse, back to the judgment thing. So I don't know how to be without judging, I have found.
Yeah.
So when one is interacting with people on a daily basis and you see something in them that, I mean, when you're with people, are you kind of thinking there is something in them that is demonic or whatever? It's a different spirit working through them.
Right.
And you just kind of know that, or
Yes.
and
That's a good question. When I'm dealing with people or I see people doing weird things, my mind is telling me, oh, that's a nutcase right there. That person is crazy. Or why would they wear something like that? You know? Or, you know, it's telling me all that. But because I know now that I'm not my mind, I'm not my thought, I just observe it. I let it go. Because I know now that it's not me that's making that judgment, that it's coming from a different source. So I don't identify with it and I'm fine.
so it's the not you identifying something in the not them?
Right.
Okay.
And because I now understand myself, and I know that the things that I go through and have done, I had nothing to do with it. I understand that the same thing is happening to them. So that part of me allows me not to judge anyone. And that's a nice way to live. I have no judgment of anyone, including myself.
See, I had to let that one go too, Jesse. I didn't realize I was judging myself either.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because when you judge yourself, it's just like judging somebody else. You're playing God, and God is not your God if you're being God. Right. So you can't even judge yourself. You just have to see it is what it is, but have no opinion about it. Have no opinion.
I get it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, when you're meditating, when you're with people, you know there's a stressful situation, how do you meditate when there's all this noise and stuff going on? It's easier to meditate and be prayerful when it's quiet, but when there's noise and people, what do you do?
Just watch it. You have to practice being, when you get up in the morning and you sit quietly to pray, and then so you get up and go your way, you have to become aware of the self within. And just watch it. You'll go in and out of it while you're communicating with someone or dealing with issues, but as soon as that issue is over with, you come back to yourself. And then you'll just grow in that. And it'll become a way of life, and you don't have to go in and out anymore. But you just have to practice being aware of yourself within the kingdom of heaven. Okay. And don't worry about it. Don't become frustrated. It has to happen on its own.
I see my frustration also.
Yeah, and just watch that too.
Yeah.
Of ourselves, we can do nothing.
It's a beautiful thing, Jesse.
Yeah.
It really is. It's not easy. We tell the kids it's easier to be bad than it is to be good.
And so you're saying it's not easy to be good?
I don't think it is, because it's not in my nature to be good. I mean, I think it's easier to be bad because it's...
No, I understand that. Yeah. How many people agree that it's easy to be bad and hard to be good? Okay, I love that. It's easy to be bad and hard to be good. So why is it it's easy to be bad?
Because we're in this world, and I know a Christian is supposed to be, you're in this world but not of the world, but to become not of the world in the place where we exist on a daily basis, and to connect with that spirit, it's not tangible. It's not something we can see and feel. It's something that we have to go to and we have to seek and cry out for. And sit and wait, and our nature is to be impatient and to be frustrated and to judge and all these things that we have to deal with. It's easier to just slip into that and keep going.
Very interesting.
Narrow is the way.
Yeah, that's for sure. I understand that. But let me tell you this. The problem is that there is no such thing as bad. It's a made-up thing in your mind, an illusion of your imagination. And you've been taught by parents and others what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong. And because you've been taught that, it is now being used against you to make you judge what is good and what is bad. And then when you judge things as bad, you feel bad about yourself. You judge yourself for doing bad. And when you judge things as good, you judge yourself for being good and doing good, so you feel better. It's an illusion that's been given to us in our fallen state. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all. It's all a part of the setup of what we've been taught by blind people. And so we can see that we need to be born again. We need a new nature. We are in a fallen state. And if we didn't judge that at all, had no opinion about it, we could be free just like that. But you won't allow yourself to be free because you're so connected with your imagination. And in the darkness of your imagination, it makes decisions for you, and you believe the lie. That's what the problem is. It is not real. And so if you want to get over that, you got to get rid of everything you think you know. All of your opinions, all of your ideas, all of everything that you have been taught, you got to let it go and learn to just live in the moment. You got to learn to observe life and not have an opinion about life, and then you shall be free. Christ came, and he has put everything back in order. You have already been accepted. It's just that you won't accept it because you're still in your imagination. You believe a lie over the truth. You're keeping yourself down. That's the truth. As long as you make a decision, you're playing God. And as long as you play God, you would never know him. So if you want to be free, you got to life is about, really, this is so true. Life is about letting go. It's not about holding on to. It's not about trying to remember. It's not about all that stuff we've been told. Our parents spend 18 years of our life screwing us up, and we spend the rest of the time overcoming that. And once you start to overcome, you can then live. I saw this documentary on National Geographic yesterday about the mind, and I'm like, wow, that is so true. We are not our minds, and we are not our thoughts at all. The mind is our enemy. The mind function is really just there to make the body function, make the blood go through the body, make all these things happen. But you are a spirit. You are you're not your body, you're not your mind, you're not your thoughts. You are a spirit. And the only reason you can't see that clearly is that you have not truly forgiven, so God can bring you completely into the light, and then you can live your life. But you got to truly, truly forgive. When God caused me to forgive, he took away all of my anger, and then I start living. And I start growing away from my imagination, growing away from making decisions, getting away from judging myself and others. I can see that it is what it is, and there's nothing I can do about it, and it is working out like never before. You're playing God with your decision making. And this stuff about, oh, we're in the flesh, and it's fleshly, and we can't help it, is all lies. But that's what the blind preachers have taught us. Our blind parents have taught us, and now we're just quoting it, repeating that, just like we repeat the Bible when we learn the Bible. But it's not true at all. It's an illusion. You're already free. There's no past, no future. All you have is now. God is now. That's why he said, come into my presence. Come into the now. He's not out here. He's right here. But until you truly, truly forgive, because that anger is the nature of Satan, and you're his children or child until you truly forgive, and then life will start. You got to let go all anger. And the way you do that is getting to know yourself. And what you're going to find out about self, that you are not, you're nothing. You're an image of God. That's about it. Other than that, you're not in control of anything. You can't change anything. And the more you let go, the freer you become. You got to let go. Let go of everything you know. That's the only way you're going to be free, because you want to live by the Spirit, not by the imagination. The imagination have you sick. The imagination have you thinking you're crazy. The imagination have you thinking you need depression pills and all that stuff. The imagination makes you think that you need more of this and more of that. I need this and I need that and all that kind of stuff. The imagination is your enemy, and it lives off your hatred, your judgment of yourself and others. Of ourselves, we can do nothing. And of ourselves, we know nothing. And I love living like that. In my heart and in my mind, I want the mind of God. That's what I want more than anything else. I don't want the mind of Satan that comes from hatred, that comes from anger. I want the mind of God that comes from love. And love controls all things. Really. And things just happen for you. But you got to let go of the imagination. The people have taught you lies. And all you're doing is repeating it and living it and passing it on to your children. Christ put it back. It's all back in order. You just don't see it. But it's all right here, right now. And if I know this, a cotton picking, no English speaking person like me, I have an awful background. As far as being out of control and all, if he could do it for me, he could do it for all you smart people. All of you are smarter than me. I'm telling you. But you got to let go. You really have to let go. I know people who love the organization, Bond, for example, right? And they'll get mad at themselves, and they'll take it out on the whole organization. I don't want anything to do with the organization. I'm like, what's wrong with you? You crazy? You still go to work. You still committed to everything else. Why aren't you still committed to that? But their mind got them going, and they don't know it. I'm telling you, let go of the mind, know that you're not your thought, and then the truth will come forth. It's in our, the Holy Spirit is in the soul of our belly. It's not in our mind. Satan is in your mind. Stop judging. Everything you said today was a judgment of yourself, but it comes from deception. It really does. It's all an illusion. Just think about this. God created us. God is good. And if we are his children, we have his nature. Why shouldn't we be living that kind of life? You know what I mean? Yes, Jesse, I know exactly what you mean. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 minute.
Another thing that I've been seeing about myself, Jesse, which I'm still not there, is the fact that Christ came and that he died for me. I can't, I think for so long I believed that in my mind, but I'm still trying to really accept the fact that he died for me. I mean, I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but...
That's fine, no.
You know.
But let me tell you this. You're not seeing things about yourself. You're seeing things about the spirit that made a home in you that came from resentment. You have another identity within you, and you're seeing that spirit. When you see yourself, that image that has been created in God's image, because we are a spirit, and we are created in his image, when you see that, you're going to rejoice. You don't see that yet. You're seeing the not you inside of you, inside of your flesh.
It's ugly. I don't like it.
Right, because it's of the devil, that's why. But don't like it or dislike it. You got to learn to just see it. Okay. Observe it, see it, and it's God who allows you to see it, and he'll take it away from you. He'll remove that spirit away from you. Then you can live. But don't identify with it as though it's you. It is not you. When Paul said the things I want to do, I can't, and things I don't want to do, I do. I realize it's not me, but the spirit that's made a home in me. That's what we're all overcoming. It makes us do the thing. When you're an angry person, you do things that you do not want to do. And then when you do them, you hate yourself for it, and now you're just going to hell. Instead of just seeing that, just realizing that it's wrong, but just realize that it's wrong, but don't have an opinion about it.
So Jesse, I guess this thing in me that sees that really is starting to really understand that Christ came and he really died and that I am forgiven. That's the part that I
And that you are what?
Forgiven.
You are forgiven.
Yes.
You're judging yourself.
I am.
God is not judging you. The moment you see that you're wrong, the moment you realize that you're wrong, God is done with it. He doesn't even remember it. But Satan will remember it so he can remind you of it so you can keep judging yourself.
That's it. I've been living in the past,
yes,
thinking about all the dumb things I've done all the way up to today.
Yeah.
And that's all I've been doing. And then so what happens is I feed that and think, well, I'm not forgiven because I've done all these dumb things in my life.
And that's not you that's doing that. It's your enemy that's made a home. He's telling you that. But because you're so identified with him, you think you're telling yourself that. You're not even telling yourself that. You would never, the real you would not judge yourself. Mm. He's judging you and you think that is you. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
It is so amazing.
It is.
I was thinking the other day, wow, I had this experience 2 days ago, and this is what I want to tell you guys about. I've been praying for the last year, all of this year without ceasing. The Bible says pray without ceasing. And that means to just practice being aware all the time. Practice being in the moment. If you're in your thoughts, come out, be with God in the moment, right? And so I'm sitting and praying the other morning, and all of a sudden, it seemed as though there was nothing else but right there. Nothing else existed. It was like it came upon me, right? And I could see this open door. It was weird. It just came and it went, but enough for me to know. It was all light, and it was a door. And in that door, I knew that all opportunities were there. Everything I needed was in that door. And I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And it's just amazing that it just appeared to me like that. But it was all love. It was all everything. It was everything I ever need in life. It's like it just appeared and it's just right there. And I realized, wow, it's too bad that people are so lost in their head. They believe a lie about themselves. They hate themselves and others. And they don't know that everything is right here, right now. It's already done. Everything you ever want in life is done. Everything you will ever get in life is done. Everything you will ever need in life is done. It's already done. All you have to do is receive it. But as long as you're angry and living in your head, you're never going to receive it. You're going to stress yourself out. You're going to have heart attacks. You're going to whatever's going on. But you got to start letting go of all you think that you know. You know what I mean? It's right. God loves us, and He's right here, right now. We've been set up to fail in life. We've been absolutely set up to fail by people who meant well, but they just didn't know. Really, our parents didn't know. The preacher that preached us the Bible didn't know. They just don't know. Everything we need is right here, right now.